What an absolutely beautiful late August day we have here. And the good news is that this nice weather is set to continue for the foreseeable future. So that's one big positive. Now I've just returned from a very successful freedom fighting mission with two other freedom fighter friends in my local area. We went around a number of shops and small businesses in our local area distributing copies of the light paper, and I wanted to touch and describe to you what I feel civil disobedience is and needs to be, because there's a particular way that it needs to be done. So yeah, we had a great time. We went around probably about 50 different shops. Good camaraderie, good chat, in the sun, lots of people about. People were very receptive, as you would imagine most small business owners to be, very receptive. And yeah, then we finished with a nice cup of coffee in a local cafe, so that was nice. We saw a interesting spectacle of a man who was sitting outside with a mask on that only covered his mouth. So what's the point? And then he went over to another table, grabbed an ashtray, went back to his seat, tore his mask off, and started smoking a ciggy. So make it that what you will. Also met a very, very cute 10-week-old little Dachshund puppy. So that was great. Brought a bit more joy to the day. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. It's about, whilst we were talking, having our coffee, me, Dave and Jim, we were talking about the information war and the propaganda, and we were talking about how there's many people now who've woken up to what's going on, but who are in this state of inertia and who are drowning in information and fixating on negative information obsessively. So whilst on the one hand, this isn't so much of a problem now, because as more and more people release themselves from the hypnosis and the psychosis, which I believe is happening, but we did have the problem, didn't we, where people were only subjecting themselves to one source of information, the BBC, for example, and we're being hypnotized and lulled further and further and further into this deep sleep where it's like it was impossible for them to countenance any other information source. Well, as various different things are happening and people are seeing, I'm not allowed to say what it is, but I'll get banned, but as people are starting to see that many of the things that the conspiracy theorists in inverted commas were saying are now coming to pass, I think more and more people are allowing themselves to be influenced by different information sources. So on the other hand, we have those who've been, the awakened ones. I don't like the term, but those who are in the resistance, the resistance group, are imprisoned by information in a different way. And what is that? Well, I've talked quite a bit about it, and it's what me, Dave and Jim were talking about before, in that they're aware of the problem, but it's almost like they're too aware of the problem and becoming imprisoned by information and obsessive sharing of information, regurgitating links, videos, and Facebook posts, etc. I've talked about this so often, and I'll be honest with you, it is now starting to annoy me because that is not the way that we win this. We don't win this by ruminating, by obsessively sharing links, by not imparting our own thoughts. And here's a crucial aspect. Absolutely talk about the problem. I don't have any issue with that, but maybe what we need to do and what more people need to do, I passionately believe, is to, well, okay, what's your own take on the problem? What's your opinion? Okay, you've shared this post and you've shared that video, but that's what somebody else thinks and you're just sharing it. What do you think? So if we're going to discuss the problem, let's discuss the problem by imparting our own individual insight and opinion onto what the problem actually is, rather than just sharing something that's happening some hundreds, thousands of miles away. And we need to ensure that if we are, highlighting what's going on, highlighting the severity of the issue with which we're dealing, well, let's also choose to be part of the solution, because doing that, as far as I'm concerned, now at this late stage, isn't the solution at all. The solution actually isn't even doing what I try to do, doing these videos. The solution is a combination of telling the world what we think in our own way, such as what I'm doing here, or writing a blog or articles or whatever, own research, and taking that out into the real world by engaging with members of the public. That is peaceful civil disobedience. Telling people what you think online and getting involved in arguments on Facebook, that ain't it, unfortunately. It's real world examples of civil disobedience that general members of the public absolutely have to see. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm seeing too many people who are still maybe sat at home sharing links and not getting out there, not giving the literature out, not giving the newspapers out. I don't know, not going to the meetups. And then even the meetups, it comes down to, for me, civil disobedience is it's going into a doctor's surgery. It's going into a place where they're going to be way down the rabbit hole and saying, we've got something for you here, can we leave this here? Trying to engage them. That's what it is, as far as I'm concerned, and that's what needs to happen, particularly now, in this. What worries me is that while the weather's nice, are we necessarily seeing enough people getting out there and trying to engage, trying to raise awareness in the real world? I don't know. I'm not sure that we are, because once the weather turns, then it's probably going to be more and more and more difficult to get people out. We've got to get out there. Just do it once a week. Get out there and engage. And it is absolutely critical that this obsessive regurgitation of posts and videos, it stops. I think we're all aware now, of what we're up against. You can either decide to keep on sharing, bombarding people on all different groups. Look at this, what's going on, look at this, what's going to happen. Can you believe this? Can you believe that? Yeah, all right. Yeah, but what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Because it's not enough just to say, I'm awake. That's not enough. It's not enough to say, I'm trying to spread awareness. It's not enough to say, why won't they wake up? It's not enough to say, I'm on the right side of history. We've got to create something yourself, whatever it may be, and get out there. That's what we need to do. Because people need to be influenced. People need to see. They need social proof. That right, okay, that's what I think, and they're saying what I think in a public place. That's the social proof. I don't know what you think about this and whether you agree or disagree. But as far as I'm concerned, you're not awake if you just sat at home all day spamming loads of groups with info that you haven't created. Does that make sense? It's just information, somebody else's opinion. Somebody else has filmed the video. Somebody else has done a little screenshot. And I think that's good when it's positive. I do. I think that's good to brighten up somebody's day. I do. But when it's negative, I don't particularly think it's serving any purpose anymore. The next step needs to be taken. And the next step is deciding to take the responsibility to go out and influence other people. Be the leader in the real world. So That's what I think at the moment, because once we did that today and we felt it was brilliant, bit of camaraderie between the group, going out and chatting to people, seeing that they're receptive. You know, how many seeds have we planted there today? Probably loads. So my message is let's get out there. Let's get out there and spread the word rather than just talking about it amongst ourselves, usually in a negative way. Because let's be honest, it is, isn't it? Most of the stuff that's getting talked about on Facebook and Telegram and WhatsApp is negative, isn't it? So let's turn that negative into a positive. Let's get out there and show real peaceful civil disobedience. You know, we're not breaking any laws doing this. That's all. We're just giving out whatever literature that we've got. Let's put our money where our mouth is and let's walk the walk. So that's where I'm at the moment, and I feel that we really do need to take that step. So let's get out there, people. That's my message for the day. Anyway, enjoy the rest of this gorgeous weather, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.